user interface. When I open a form, for example, items, I can directly look into the items form and search all the items that have greater than 100 or 1000 cost. And I take away the filter. I can do F4, or I can click inside the magnifier glass. So when I'm looking for the criteria, there are more than 200 items. 200 is going to be a suspicious amount of records, because Silent do that for protect you to actually look at a very big databases and slow your PC or something like that. So I'm gonna click here in here. I'm gonna put mark. I'm gonna put another criteria. What I do is I type mark and I do F2 on function 2 and actually look for the list how many marks are there. I can put an asterisk and clicking here. I can do it both ways. I like to put F2. So clicking here, you have two criteria. How many items that have more than 1,000 US dollar cost are his buyer is actually Mark Johnson. So apparently there are going to be more than 200. So what can I do is to actually set my search so I can find more than 200 of it. So I'm going to do view settings and then clicking here in runtime behavior and then retrieve all the way up, clicking here and refresh this list. This behavior is going to happen only in this session and this session only. As soon as I open it again, it's going to happen again that I have to filter out. It's going to be only 200 of it. For example, I have 731 items that has that criteria, and I can do the same way. I can put 72 and then put a wildcard in here. This wildcard allows me to have everything that is starting with 72, or could be at the beginning or whatever it is. So I can take away the filter. So I want to see how many items Mark Johnson buy, and his product code or his family code is going to be 72. So with this list, what I can do is to actually do Control 2. I say I want to export this list to Excel. Well, I have two ways to do it. If I want the straight list like it is, I just click in here in this option of the menu that is going to be export to Excel. It's going to ask you want to export it at the same match that the columns have. You say yes. It's going to export it in there. They're going to be exported in a different text extension, but you can do just yes, and it's going to be opened by default by Excel. With this kind of measure, you can have many columns. Item master has many columns. As you see, they have many of it, right? But sometimes I don't want all this list, so I want to close this out. I'm gonna click in here. I'm gonna say, well, I just want to have a short list, so I can right click in here, do edit grid columns, and do hide all. I just want to have the item, the description, the buyer, the quantity on hand, and that's it. I'm gonna say okay. So see, I can actually look for my information and just copy. Clicking here, Control C, open a new Excel file, and paste it wherever I want. Clicking here, double click so you can actually, okay, so I have my list. So this is kind of things, this is not going to affect the next time that I open this form. It's going to show me the columns as the way they are. So edit grid columns, show all, okay. It's going to be the same stuff that was used to be. Okay, for example, let's going to talk a little bit about the fields that I have. You see there are many colors that I have. I have the yellow ones that are mandatory, the gray ones that are not editable, they are only read, the read only, and the white ones that are optionals. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, for example, is I'm gonna try to create a new item based on that. So I can do actions copy. When I copy an item, normally Sideline is gonna ask you, it's gonna tell you, it says, are you sure they want to copy this? Because if you copy this, it's not gonna copy the bill of material. This is not this is a purchase item, so it will not have any bill of material. I don't mind about that. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna continue copying. So I cannot have two items with the same number. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do Control 1. I can do the did in Sideline whatever I want in this mode, in grid 1 or in the form 1. I want to use the form 1. So it's gonna be 23, for example. I'm gonna change it here. So we talk about it. The grade fields, they are only for information because the item cost is not going to be handled in the item master. There's a separate form that is going to be item cost. So I'm going to try to save it. So let's see, when I create a new item, when I create a new record, the system is not going to record it until I save it. I can do Control S, or I can click in there. I can find that out. Okay, so now we have 2 of 57, right? So when I create a new item, you're gonna see there's gonna be an N inside of here. That is a new record that has not been saved. It's not gonna allow you to save it if you don't have all the yellow fields, the mandatory fields, save it. But I'm gonna delete this one, so I'm gonna delete this one because I have not been saved. The system will allow me to do that. But what about another record? If another record, I cannot delete that. I'm gonna try to delete the one that I have already made. It's gonna tell me that has a D and is ready to be deleted. If I try to do that with many records at the same time, as soon as I save it, the system is gonna delete it. So I click in here, I do Control D. I have a little D in here. If I save it, the system will take it away. So it's a confirmation that you have. You mark the record first to actually try to delete it, or you can just Control D and Control S, right? So what about a new record? Well, I just copy a new record, right? But if I do Control N, the system also will try to create a new record. I'm gonna see it here. Also, this icon, this little icon, is gonna help me to do that. So this is from scratch. So I'm gonna try to create a new item from scratch. So it's gonna be test item. Yeah, I know. Okay, let me work with that. Test item. The mandatory fields are unit of measure, product code. Later on, we're going to talk about this product code. Very important. I'm going to save it. So as soon as I put the mandatory fields, the system allows me to save the record. Okay. So let's see another option that I can do to actually edit or copy things inside of the user interface. Okay, I have my test item. I'm going to copy that to Excel. Let me create a new one. Paste it. Normally it's very good to actually, when you paste it, if you want to do a drop list, that you can actually populate Sideline later with that. It's better to actually do it by test. The format text is going to help you because sometimes you have a zero in front of it. When you copy and paste it for Sideline, it's going to delete the zero. So normally that's what I'm trying to do. So this is my test item number 2. So I'm going to copy this, go inside of Sideline, edit, paste row to pen. If I got the mandatory fields put on, I can copy a very long list of items inside of Cyan just with this option. Edit, page from the pen. We're going to see what about it. So you see another new record in here. The system is copying. It has many columns. I told you the items forms is one of the forms that has more fields inside of it. So I'm going to save it. So I can do a bulk offloading to actually have my data, right? End of the video.